Let's make history. The neighborhood of Clinton Hill was originally referred to as simply The Hill due to its height and its majestic views of Manhattan. It was also named in honor of DeWitt Clinton, former governor of New York State. And not only was he governor, but he was New York State senator, mayor of New York City, and presidential candidate in the 1812 election. The house behind me is the Lefferts Laidlaw House, and that was built in 1840. Not long after, a gentleman named Charles Pratt built a mansion here in this area on Clinton Avenue where I stand, and then proceeded to build other mansions and homes for his various relatives. And he founded Pratt Institute, which today is a world-renowned art school, in the late 1800s. Charles Pratt was actually one of the pioneers of the movement, the transition to go from whale oil to natural oil. In the early to mid 20th century, the early 1900s, when the subway was opened and massive amounts of housing was being built throughout, not just Brooklyn, but the entire city, because it gave people access to different and various parts of New York, which they hadn't had access to before. And this was a period when a lot of neighborhoods began to blossom, and some even be born during this period. Many of the mansions were demolished during the top half of the 20th century to make room for apartment buildings. And the few mansions which were left standing were used as boarding houses. Then you fast forward to the late 20th century, and circa the year 2000, Clinton Hill houses wealthier residents than the average Brooklynite. Gentrification brought that change about. Aside from Pratt Institute, Clinton Hill is also home to the Catholic University, St. Joseph's.